Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my Dark Knight. How's it going? Welcome back, everybody, to a tier ranking list here on the channel today. We're doing something a little different. We did some DBZ rankings. I am going to go back to the Pokemon tier rankings here in the future, but just not right now. I want to apologize for my voice. It's a little cracky. I did do some karaoke the night before, and I got a little bit of a cracky voice and a sore throat. This is not new for me, but I'll be okay. But today, we are doing a tier list for Naruto. All the Naruto characters ever in the anime, anywhere, and their multiple forms as well. Young Naruto, Shippuden Naruto, Sage Naruto, and Six Pass Naruto are also just to name a few. So if you see multiple versions of Naruto, that is why. Now, I don't know the names of all these characters. I do know them quite well, most of them. So hopefully, let's jump right into this. And let's start with the fourth Hokage, I think this is, Sarutobi. He deserves to be right there in the exceptional tier. Just because his fight with Orochimaru was one of the best in the entire series, even still to this date. Now, this guy, I don't remember seeing him too much, but he was pretty cool for what, for his character and whatnot. Then we got Guy Lee, the power of youth, and he goes into the overpowered tier just because, first of all, he is amazing. When he breaks out all of the seven gates and almost beats Madara Uchiha, that is a huge moment, and really gets me to like Might Guy, because to this point in the series, I really didn't like Might Guy very much. Rock Lee wasn't my favorite as well, so I really didn't feel for him too much, but when he broke out that stuff, man, it got me to like him a good bit. So next we got what's his name, Akuba, I think, the guy, rest in peace, by the way. He died to Hanzo, and I think he goes right there with Daddy, Daddy Dearest. He deserves it, and I mean, a lot of people were very sad when he passed and when he died, and the series killed him off, because his father died and then he dies, you know. But a lot of people really did like his character, because if it wasn't for him, Shikamaru wouldn't be the kind of person he is now in the series. Next, we got Choji. Choji's right in the middle for me. I'm not too high on Choji, but at the same time, I'm not too low on Choji either. Choji is a pretty cool character with his jutsus and whatnot, but I never really enjoyed his jutsus too much. Then we have Danzo. He's trash. I just didn't really like Danzo. You know, he just didn't seem that interesting to me. And then this guy right here, I have no idea how I feel about him. If I'm completely honest, I've just out of how he looks, I've never seen him in the series, so I don't know what to expect of him. And this guy's probably from the Hidden Mist as well. Have no idea what to expect of him. Next, we have Haku. Haku goes up to below average. He had a cool arc in the beginning of Naruto. His jutsu was pretty cool with the ice mirrors, and different stuff like that, and he was an associate of Zabuza, but that was pretty much it, you know. Really, it was kind of weird, because I thought it was a girl. Surprise, surprise, it's not a girl. And that's anime for you. Next, we got Deidara. Deidara goes into goes into the decent rank. I liked his character, but at the same time, I didn't. I do like how all his art he makes is explosive. He makes clay bombs and different stuff like that. And he can make them literally with his hands, which is pretty cool, with his mouth hands or whatever they are. Um, and he is actually one of the Akatsuki members that lives quite a bit longer than a lot of the other Akatsuki members, which is quite surprising. Next, we got Tobirama. I think this is Tobirama. He goes up there to the exceptional rank as well, just because he's the first Hokage. Enough said. So I'm gonna try and move a lot quicker here. Gaara, God tier for sure, just because he's my favorite character in the entire series. But not only that, Gaara, he has a great story. He starts out as the one-tail Jinchuriki. He also works for he has his own agenda, and he has an insatiable bloodlust and stuff like that. And Naruto actually gets through to him, and he ends up becoming an ally. And then in the end, he becomes the Kaze Kage. He becomes the Hokage equivalent, basically, for the Sand Village. And he's one of the four great. He becomes one of the four great Kages, and that is a huge, huge, huge thing, because his journey as a character, to me, gets him that high. And then one of my favorite characters, probably funniest character, one of the funniest characters, other than another guy I'm going to talk about later in the show, is Hidan. This is kind of ironic. I kind of put the guy he killed below him. The way he gets outsmarted is actually quite funny. Now, he's supposedly immortal. So, and that's the thing. He could still be alive somewhere. I mean, who knows? Next, I got Hinata. I'll put Hinata in the decent category. Again, did not care much for her, but she was a pretty good-looking anime waifu, for sure. Then we got Ino. Oh no, we have her in the exceptional. Ino, just because I have him right there, because Ino is freaking gorgeous, first of all, and definitely would be one of my anime waifus for sure. Next we got Aruka. I think his name is Aruka. Just for what he does for Naruto as a mentor, I'll put him in I'll put him in the decent rank. I don't remember much about this guy, so I'll just put him I'll put him in average, below average, because I really didn't know much about him. Obito, I'll put Obito up here in overpowered, just because Obito, to me, is pretty cool, because when we first got introduced to him, we were introduced to him as a kid, and he was friends with Kakashi. They were in the same team together when they were younger. And then we find out the guy who's parading around is Madara, with the mask, is not Madara. It is Obito. And he ends up wanting to take control of all the Jinchuriki, the different beasts, to create the Ten Tails. And to, I'm not sure if he wanted to create the whole world, or destroy the whole world, or what, or recreate it in his image. I'm not sure how it worked. But he, and then he actually has a fight with Kakashi. He has a nice redemption, and him and Kakashi team up together to take on Madara, which is a big, big deal. And I think he even takes on Kaguya, which that's who we're going to talk about next. And here's my thing about Kaguya, okay? They could have ended it with Madara and all of them. Why add a person in Kaguya just the add to it. I don't understand. Next, we got Hitachi, and just off that fight alone that they had together, Hitachi's god tier. That fight with Sasuke and Itachi was the best fight in the entire series, hands down. Jiraiya, Pervy Sage, god tier as well. Love Jiraiya. His character is very, very true and near and dear to my heart. That fight he has with Pain, where he falls and dies to his former pupil, is one of the most emotional moments in that show, if not the most emotional moment, next to another death that we have later, which we'll get to later if he's in this list. I love Jiraiya. He's hilarious, and he has a nice little like Master Roshi feel to the Naruto universe. Next, we got Kabuto, just off of his development, and if it wasn't for him, the Third Great Ninja War wouldn't even have happened, and Madara wouldn't even have been resurrected. Is Kabuto, because Kabuto goes from just random ninja in Junin's exams, and then we find out he's actually an apprentice of Orochimaru. And then after we find out he's an apprentice of Orochimaru, he actually, after Orochimaru dies, he actually takes, learns all the jutsus that he learned, and actually becomes like a snake thing of some sort, something like that, and ends up helping Obito, Madara at the time, aka Obito, to start the Third Great Ninja War. And to me, that's great character development as well. And then one of my favorites, the copy ninja, none other than Kakashi Sensei. You can't say anything bad about Kakashi Sensei. I mean, he's voiced by the great Steve Bloom. Like, hello? Like, you can't not down that. Sasuke, I'm putting Sasuke up there just because of his turn. He goes from the arrogant douchebag to rival to leaves, becomes evil, tries to destroy the Kages, tries to destroy everything else, helps Madara, and then has a great redemption turn and actually helps Naruto. And then they have a big fight in the end to decide who's going to become the next Hokage. And then he becomes a rival again. So it was really, really, really good for that. Kakazu, dude, he is overpowered as heck in that in the show for sure. I remember watching the fight with Kakazu. It was such a long fight because he can do so many different things, and supposedly he ages slower. He has, I don't know, he has like 6 hearts or something like that. I'm not sure how that works, but he has several different hearts. Next we got Kiba. We'll put him in exceptional. Love his jutsu. His jutsu is pretty cool as well. Kisame, I'll put him in exceptional as well, just because he's got that cool sword, shark skin, and I actually found out he's one of the legendary swordsmen of the mist. Karin. You are trash, Karin. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Karin, or Karen, whoever the heck you say her name is, she's not the best. I don't even understand. She can sense chakra or something, I think. I'm not sure what her whole deal is, but she's not the best. Konohamaru, we'll put Konohamaru in decent. He has moments, but he also has his bad moments as well. Asuma's wife. I think that's Asuma's wife. We'll put her there in decent as well. The Rose girl. I forget what her name was. I really like that jutsu with all the paper, and it turns into stuff. That was a really nice feature. Kimimaru, we'll put him in decent. Um, yes, this girl's really, just because of how pretty she is, I'll put her in there. Um, Might Guy. Now listen, we're going off of two separate versions of Might Guy. Regular Might Guy, for me, wasn't as high for me. Because I thought Might Guy was annoying. But then he had that transformation later on where we saw him do that near the end of Shippuden, and it was amazing. Octopops, aka what's his name? Something B. Oh yeah, his name was just B, wasn't it? Killer B. We'll put him in overpowered. He was cool. He was the right Kage's brother, and not even that, but he is also, he's Eight Tails. And he's the way they voice acted him was hilarious. It was amazing. I loved it. Konkoro, listen, I put him up in exceptional. I like his jutsu. I've always loved his jutsu with the puppets. But he's not, I mean, and I like how he always expands his puppet collection. I think at one point he even has the puppet that Sorcery uses, I believe. Then we have the third Hokage. Just because of how cool he is, he's God tier for sure. Then we got Madara Uchiha. Just because of how much damage that man did, we put him in God tier. Naruto, we'll put the Sage in there. Neji, rest in peace, my man. I remember that was a moment that really got me as well. We put him in exceptional, by the way. That really got me as well when he died to protect Naruto. And that was a very, very sad moment as well. Kid Naruto, listen, he's exceptional, but as we go throughout the thing, he gets better and better. Toby, aka Obito, we'll put him here in overpowered. The Tsuchikage, I'll put him in decent. I actually liked his, what was it, particle? Was it a particle jutsu or something like that? I wasn't sure of how it really worked. The Raikage, all you gotta say is lightning powers. Rock Lee. I cannot stand Rock Lee, but he was still interesting. With a guy that had no powers or jutsu or wasn't able to use anything, so he had to resort to taijutsu and stuff like that. That's what really made him for me. Sai, listen. Don't like Sai. I don't. Why is he so pale? I don't understand. And then we have Sakura. I wasn't very high on Sakura, and I apologize for that. Grown up Sasuke. We'll put him in decent. I've not seen too much of grown up Sasuke because I haven't seen Boruto before, but I need to. Oh, and then we get into some good ones here, guys. We get into some really good ones. Let's start off with Sasori. He's an overpowered for sure. I really do like his not just his jutsus, but his much better ability of the puppets as well. He's like a better Kankuro, basically. And I like that. Next, we got Naruto from Shippuden. You guys will see he gets better and better. The same thing with Evil Sasuke as well. And I'm not. This is young. Isn't that young Hitachi? I think that's young Hitachi. Yeah, we'll put him there. Shino, we'll put him there as well. Actually, no, I want them there. Okay. And God tier, I'm just telling you right now, we're gonna be putting a couple here. First of all, Naruto. 6 pass Naruto. I think that's 6 pass Naruto. Or it's just his QB form. The moment where you saw the transformation with him and Ninetales becoming one and converging together, in Karama, is an amazing moment in the series and in the show, and I loved every minute of that. Next, we have Pain. Listen, Pain, aka Nagato, was a great protagonist. He had a jutsu called the Almighty Push, and it made him absolutely amazing. He's the only person to ever say, well, other than the Ninetales, to have destroyed the entire Leaf Village before. So, quite a high praise. Madara, in his 6 pass form, definitely putting him there. And then my boy Orochimaru, we put him up there as well. He deserves it. Orochimaru, the first villain in Naruto. I remember when I first watched Naruto, and this guy... Okay, sorry about that. We were talking about who exactly? Oh yes, Shikamaru. That's who we were going to talk about. Shikamaru, I put him in God tier just because his character arc. He goes from a guy who didn't care about anything to becoming probably the best strategist in all of Naruto. Hands down. Next, we got the second Hokage. We'll put him in exceptional. Then we have Tenmari. I was okay with Tenmari. I'm not crazy on her. We'll put her in decent. And this is the guy that steals shark skin. Below average for me. I really didn't care much about him. 10. Well, so we'll put Tsunade up there just because of those big old titties, you know what I'm saying? And then we have 10. You are straight garbage, and so is Black Setsu. I really don't understand the two of them, okay? I really don't. 10 is just basically a girl with a bunch of weapons, okay? Now, this guy I'm going to put a little higher just because of who voiced him, a.k.a. Troy Baker voiced him in the English dub, and I really did like how he was voiced by him. So I'll put him a little higher just because Troy Baker is an amazing voice actor. And then last but not least, my favorite character other than Gaara in Naruto, Zabuza. Listen, he was the first, main antagonist, first villain we saw with Naruto in a mission in the Naruto series. And he was freaking amazing. And he was also voiced by the great Steve Bloom as well. Just Zabuza's an excellent character. He truly is. And he was just a mercenary. That's all he was. He was just a mercenary, hired gun or hired sword, basically. And his sword was freaking amazing. He had very many different water type jutsus. His water dragon jutsu is actually one that Kakashi actually copied off of him and still uses it to this day. And when they have their second fight when he gets resurrected and reanimated is amazing as well. It was a fight that I wanted to see like play out for a long time because it kind of got stuck. Because the end of it, they really didn't get to have like a full out impromptu match because drag out to the end because the guys he hired, they tried to betray him and he ended up killing all of them with no arms. And he killed them all with just a blade in his mouth, which was amazing. And he did this all while he was dying. And then he died next to his friend, and basically his I don't know what it was to him, but Haku as well. But guys, this is all the tier list these are all the names on the tier list that we have. So this is all the time we have for this episode. If you guys did enjoy, want to see me do another tier list or tier ranking list here on the channel, please let me know. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you. Oh, also, make sure you hit that like button as well if you did like that, and comment down below which ones you possibly want me to see me to do next. All right. Well, basically the ones I want to do is either Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, different animes, different cartoons, video game ones there are on here. I think I may do a video game one next. I'm not entirely sure. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome.